Mind control is real.
There's a Yankee Doodle spirit in the freedom and liberty, your freedom.
What you see here are multiple visuals, repetitive movement, and the hypnotizing effect of mirrors. Until we win our victory and everlasting peace. Those are the words from the song. What is the song telling you? Well, it's telling you, give us your money, and that will make you the best American possible.
There is a new spirit in America.
That's right.
The spirit of a free people, united again in a common cause to stamp tyranny from the earth.
That's right.
Our very shores have been attacked.
That is not right.
We will stamp tyranny from the earth. In fact, our own shores have been attacked. And you can see Donald in his frustration. That is not right. It is not right that we, the good people who want to free the earth from everything that is bad, that we should find ourselves under attack. That is not right.
Your whole country is mobilizing for total war. Your country needs you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you a patriotic American?
Yes, sir.
Eager to do your part?
Yes, sir.
Then there's something important you can do.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I'll do it.
You won't get a medal for doing it.
Oh, that's all right.
It may mean a sacrifice on your part,
I'll do it anyway.
but it will be a vital help to your country in this hour of need. Shall I tell you?
Donald has listened to the narrator's comforting, strong voice, singing the song of patriotism and freedom. Now he finds himself on his knees. He's just talking to a faceless voice, and he's begging and he's pleading. Please, please, I'll do anything. Let me be a part of this great movement to save my country. I will do anything you ask.
To help your government by paying your tax and paying it promptly. Country is at war. Your country needs taxes for guns, taxes for ships, taxes for democracy, taxes to beat the Axis.
What you're watching is called The New Spirit. It was a 1942 animated short film that was produced by Walt Disney Productions and the U.S. Department of the Secretary. It was released by the War Activities Committee of the Motion Pictures Industry. Let me say that again. The War Activities Committee of the Motion Pictures Industry by the U.S. Department of the Treasury. The cartoon stars Donald Duck, was the first film created as part of Walt Disney's World War II propaganda production. It was commissioned by Henry Morgenthau Jr., who was at the time Secretary of the Treasury. He was encouraging American citizens to pay their income tax, and they used the war effort in a bid to get the money. The film was directed by Wilfred Jackson and Ben Sharpstein. It features Clarence Nash, the famous voice of Donald. The radio announcer is Fred Shields, and it is Cliff Edwards who is singing the patriotic song. The New Spirit was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature at the 15th Academy Awards, and it was an honor that was shared with 24 other films. The following year, Disney released The Spirit of 43, whose purpose was quite similar, and it reused many of the scenes that were done for The New Spirit. film was released for the first time in 2004, for the first time after its first theatrical release in 2004 on a DVD set called Walt Disney's Treasures on the Front Line. It's interesting to watch. In our modern day, we've come to associate Disney with delightful children's shows, more interesting tweensy content, and even some teenage stuff. I think now Fox News has gotten involved, and they'll be doing more adult content. But to be certain, the Disney of today is not the same as the Disney of yesterday. You see, the Disney of yesterday was just embarking on this notion that we can actually gain legal access into every single home in America if we choose. The first step was to make the television accessible. Keep the price down. Keep the price low. Introduce it first into each small community across the United States, perhaps a local diner, perhaps the police station. Let the people see it. I myself have listened to my own mother talk about waiting, being one of the first families in their entire town to have a television in their home. People from miles around came to see the television. Did you really get a television? Can I see it? They would all come into their living room, and they would ooh and they would ah over the box. The problem was there was one show that came on once a week, and they would wait all week long, and the neighbors would come. They would sit down around the television for the one show. These cartoons that were made, there are many of these cartoons that were made with the intent of changing the way people saw the world. They were bright colors. There was the music. There was the fast-changing lights. All the things that we know now to be mesmerizing. And if these things are mesmerizing to you in a day and a time when we watch 3D movies, and everywhere we look, there's design and there's beauty. Can you imagine what the impact was, the sensory perception modification that occurred for these people that were living really simple, hardworking lives? They would wake up in the morning before the sun came up. They would get out with their cans, their lunch boxes, lunch cans. They would head out to the fields, or they would head down to the gas station. They would be mechanics. They would be bakers, cookers, teachers, firemen. And they didn't have all of this color and all of this beauty around them. The technology was not yet there. Now, if you lived in the big city, of course, there were more lights, there was more color, but they didn't care about those people. They could reach those people. In fact, those were the people that were making all the rules for the rest of the country. They wanted to know how to get to the little guy who was on his tractor out in his field. They wanted to know how to get to the young mother who was sitting around with all her children reading them books. There's only a few people at the top of the food chain. The rest of us are down at the bottom, basically building a firm foundation so that the few people at the top can live a really great life. They have plans, they know what they want to achieve, but they need us to go along with them, because there's a lot more of us than there are of them. In the beginning, I find it quite interesting that they used cute little ducks and sweet little Mickey Mouses to change the way we thought, to manipulate our view of the world. In fact, during a time where it was so hard to even come up with a nickel, that you would willingly send it, half of it, to the U.S. government. Thought about that a lot. The average income was like around $3,000 at that time for the year. Most of us, many of us, make that in every 2 weeks. So if they can do it then, in 1942, 80 years, approximately 80-something years later, why can't they do it now? In fact, now we can find a big, beautiful cinema theater complex every 5 miles going down the road. If you full cinema theater complex every 5 miles going down the road, if you live in a larger town. Everyone has got enormous, giant, big screens that are high definition or 3D in their living rooms and bedrooms. And some people have them in their kitchens. Some people have them in their bathrooms. And now people are even putting them outside in their outside kitchens. You can go to the gym and you can watch television. We are inundated with messaging. It is everywhere we go, all around us, and we are complicit. We are happily saying, brainwash me. Take my thoughts and turn them into whatever it is that you want me to become. Well, are we really sure that we trust these people who are sitting at the top? How do we know they want the best for us or the best for our children? Do you really want to let some stranger sitting at the top of the food chain, hoping to become pseudo-royalty, do you really want to put them in charge of your brain, or even worse, the thoughts of your children?